Good afternoon, students and parents. This is Dr. Demby, the most proudest principal in the state of Delaware. Today I wanted to have a brief conversation with you to kind of review some of the details to our modified remote learning plan for the third marking period. So first I'd like to say that first we are starting off with 4 days of synchronous learning. You will come to school, whether you're on the A group or the B group. You'll come to school for one even day and one odd day of your classes to total 8 periods. And then the other 2 days you'll be at home or here in our library and you'll be zooming into the classroom. So both days are considered synchronous because you are attending class each of those days. Parents, for you, your child will have one synchronous period in the classroom and one synchronous period remotely from home. Parents, I'm going to ask you to help us to get our students to turn their screens on. Our teachers are going to be much more effective if they can see the faces and eyes of your children when they're trying to teach them. It's very difficult teaching to a black screen. Can't make students to do that, but we're going to ask you to encourage your children to do that, especially if their performance is not up to the level of your standard in your household. Parents, I'm urging you to encourage your children to turn their screens on because I know our teachers can do a better job. But that being said, back to the plan. So our plan is very simple. Again, 4 days a week, A group and a B group. We're expecting around 300 to 400 students in the building each day. They will arrive at around 8:30, 8:35. And they will come into the school building to get breakfast. Breakfast will be grab and go. We are instituting a homeroom program this year, but it's very simple, students. Whatever class you have first, whether it's the odd day or your even day, you will get your breakfast between 8:40 and 9 o'clock, and you will report to your class to be there for when class starts at 9 o'clock. You will not be allowed to eat in the cafeteria. There are no congregating. So once you grab and go your breakfast, you go directly to that first class. And you will be there to have breakfast and to receive any additional announcements, like the Raven Report or something like that. Once class starts, all classes in this plan are 80 minutes long. So your first period will go from 9 o'clock to 10:20, okay? And then your next period goes from 10:26 to 11:46. Lunch, instead of having 4 lunch shifts, we'll have 3 lunch shifts, and lunch will go from 11:52 to 1:42, and your last period of the day will go from 1:48 to 3:08. Again, all periods are 80 minutes long, and lunch period, of course, is going to be a longer because we're fitting in 3 lunch shifts at 30 minutes each, with 10 minutes of cleaning between each lunch shift. So that's the basis of our schedule. On Fridays are available for meetings, teacher professional development, but we are strongly encouraging teachers and students for reverse field trips. So if a teacher requests it, we're encouraging students to participate. Even if you are a remote student, you are still welcome and encouraged to participate in reverse field trips, especially if it's in an area you're not performing well in, or it's one of your technical areas and you want to get some hands-on opportunities in that technical area. Very important, folks, very important. So kind of wanted to recap. I got to keep saying this. Due to the CDC guidelines, the Department of Health guidelines, we got to make sure you're distancing. We got to make sure you're wearing your mask. So going back to the start of the day, as you enter the building, there will be someone there to take your temperature. Once you get your breakfast and you get into your homeroom location, that homeroom teacher will instruct you on how to do the health screener. The health screener can be done either on your laptop or using your cell phone. We have a QR code here I'm going to show you that you can just use your phone and you scan the phone right to this QR code and it takes you right to the health screener. The health screener is going to be broken down by grade. So when you go in to see the health screener, if you are a 10th grader, just go to the 10th grade section, click your name. If your name is not listed, because for some reason things fall through the cracks, there is a spot where you type your name in if your name is not listed. and then you answer the 3 questions, okay, and submit. This will be done every day. So all the days you enter the building, you have to complete the health screener, okay? Parents, if you plan on entering the building for a meeting or something like that, we're gonna ask you also to go through our SCO booth, get your temperature taken, as well as complete the health screener. All right, after you do that, folks, those are some very important things. But the next part is that we wanna make sure you're distanced. In the classroom, the distancing requirement is 3 feet. And in the cafeteria, when you're eating or you take your mask off, you need to have at least 6 feet of distancing. Mask should be worn at all times, at all times. The reason why I don't have one on now, because there's no one close to me, and the person that's most close to me is about 20 feet away. But you're supposed to have your mask on at all times, folks. We're also going to ask you not to wear the same mask every day. You almost want to treat your mask like even and odd. You got your even day mask and your odd day mask. So when you're not wearing one, the other one should be clean or being disinfected. So you're making sure, again, we are fighting corona, and corona can start with each individual doing their part in stopping the spread of this dangerous and horrific virus. Those are very important, folks. In the cafeteria, I want to make this very clear. Again, there's no congregating in the cafeteria. You will stand in line. This year, something you have not experienced, you will go into the cafeteria, students, have a seat first, and then you will be called to go into the serving line to get your lunch to report back to your seat. Keep in mind, you cannot have your mask off until you sit down to start eating. You got to keep your mask on at all times. Also, folks, all students are going to be facing in one direction. You can't just get up and move around the cafeteria. One direction, and I hate to say this, but you can't turn around and talk to your friends. These aren't rules to try to make life terrible for you, but these are rules to protect you and potentially save your life. That's how important it is, folks. We will have hand washing stations around the school or hand sanitizer around the school. If you don't have a mask, we'll give you a disposable mask. But I will urge you, if we give you one on Monday, throw it away Monday night when you get home. Don't try to get it on Tuesday. We'll have to give you another disposable mask. A lot of times folks don't realize if masks are to stop corona, that means sometimes corona could be on your mask. If you keep wearing it back and forth, you can increase your chances of contracting the disease. That's why you got to wash them daily, or you got to throw away the disposables. You can't just keep using them over and over again. Those are very important. Now, on the academic and the technical side of what this plan is detailing, there's a lot to it, but I want to make sure it's very clear, folks, that this plan is to get you in the building. Our teachers have new technology with many cameras. They have headsets. They also have some technology where the camera can follow them as they're teaching, because the teachers have an incredible task. And I commend all of our teachers for taking this challenge head on. There will be teaching 10 or more of you in a classroom, while 10 or more of you are at home, okay? They will be doing this 4 days a week. So no matter if it's your day in the classroom or it's your day at home, you're still going to be a part of that classroom. The reason why we're doing this is not to make your life difficult, but it's our way of trying to bring community back together. Whether you realize it or not, and whether you realize if I know your name or if I don't know your name, as a teacher at heart, we miss each and every one of you. And we know you miss your friends. Being a county-wide school, you may not get to see your friends because you're in totally different neighborhoods, totally different sections of the county. That being said, a part of the reason why we have you remote students zooming in and the in-person students getting to see the remote students is a part of our building of the community. Yes, it will help you academically. Yes, it will help you in your technical area, but we would like and we encourage you to attend, turn your screens off so you can see and talk to your friends and communicate to your friends so we can have a little glimpse of some normalcy that we got used to and we got comfortable with, and we've been doing this for a very long time. Each and every, even as a 9th grader, nowhere near as old as I am, but for 9 years, you've been getting the education in one way, and now all of a sudden, almost like overnight, you're being educated in a totally different environment. So it's important that we make those mindset shifts to help us to be more successful and productive in this new environment. Very, very important, folks. So please turn those cameras on, attend school, okay? We will handle our attendance policy the same way. We're handling our grading policies the same way. Assignments are due still on Friday by 12 o'clock, unless the teacher, and they have my discretion, if there are special projects or they're trying to help you with an intervention, they may deviate from that. But by and large, the majority of our teachers will expect your assignments to be turned in by noon on Friday. But in turn, between Friday and Sunday, our teachers will post any instructional material that they think you need to be relevant and important for you to use the next week. We're going to be proactive. It's almost as if we're flipping the classroom. You may get reading materials, you may get homework materials, you may just get basic resource materials to prepare you for when you actually come to the classroom. You have a higher frame of reference of what the teacher is going to expect you to learn. I think that's a great idea, and I'm excited to see how that works out for each and every one of you. Also, you're going to see another video by Dr. Ely, but that's going to be an in-house video that we want to make sure we stress the safety precautions. We have some expectations around face coverings. Parents and students, you must wear your mask at all times. Again, COVID starts with each individual, and in order to make sure that happens, we have to be consistent. You have to keep your mask on. So we have some new procedures on making sure you have your mask on. If you don't, we have some procedures for that. We also have a travel pass because, again, we have to track and know where you are at all times. We have travel passes. You will get that when you come to school with your teachers, okay? As far as entry points to the building, you will still come in down by the gym, and you will still come in through the front of the school. The way we like to look at it, the buses drop students off by the gym, and parents drop students off in the front of the school. Those are very important because we want to make sure we are tracing and we know where folks are at all times. And then last but not least, those students, when you go to class, you may have to stand outside the class for a while the classroom is being cleaned, because prior to and right after any time a person's used a classroom or sits at a desk, that area is going to be clean. Parents, just so you know, our custodians are phenomenal. They are phenomenal, and they keep our building this very old building, they keep it very, very clean. In saying that, the building will be cleaned every night. So you don't have to have any concerns about your children coming into an unsafe, unsanitary building. Our custodial staff will have those classrooms, those common areas, bathrooms, doorknobs. They clean those things every night, and we will clean that before and after every class. Folks, as I close, I want to make sure everybody understands this. We have a job to do. Teachers have a job to teach, students have a job to learn, and I have a job to lead. This COVID situation has occurred, but it has not relinquished any of us from our responsibility to do what's right and the accountability to do it consistently. So folks, students, I need you to learn. Do not take an asynchronous day or a day you're not in class as a day you don't need to study. Somewhere you have to fill in the time. In a traditional mindset, you were in class for about 30 hours a week. So now that time has been reduced. But that doesn't mean you take that time and you don't study. You should study, okay? Because you are still expected to pass. There will be no free passes here. So if you don't do the work, you know what happens next. If you do the work, you got a better chance of a positive outcome. We are Ravens, folks. We will get through this. We will make history as we get through this by doing great things. You're in the best place you can be as far as a school. We have the best teachers, we have the best custodial staff, and we have the coolest students in the county. We are Ravens. We will rise and fly above the COVID, and we will continue to advance you so you can secure the future that you would like to have, as well as the reason why you came to Sussex Tech. I close with this. I am proud to be a Raven. Go Tech.